Ezra Levant here for Rebel News in our nation's capital, Ottawa, outside the Ottawa courthouse, where today, September 13th, is supposed to be the last day in the enormous and ridiculously long trial of Tamara Lich. 31 months ago, 2 years and 7 months, Ottawa was the scene of the greatest peaceful political protest in Canadian history, the Trucker Convoy, also called the Freedom Convoy. They didn't storm any buildings, they didn't break any laws, they peacefully protested against the government's civil liberties bonfire, the crackdowns against Canadians who didn't want to get a jab, everything from the ArriveCan app to the forced vaccine mandates. And instead of listening to the demands of ordinary Canadians, Justin Trudeau invoked the Emergencies Act, a form of martial law, which was later found to be unconstitutional and illegal. Well, instead of apologizing to the truckers for violating their civil liberties, the government prosecuted them, and that's why we're here. Tamara Lich, the spiritual leader of the trucker movement, has been on trial along with her co-accused, Chris Barber. They're charged with inciting mischief. And normally an inciting mischief case is the kind of thing that a judge says, hey, fly straight, I don't want to see you in my court again, get out of here. I mean, it's the lowest crime in the criminal code. It's the kind of thing reserved for vandalism or small-time shenanigans, but they have treated this like a capital offense. Tamara Lich spent more than 40 days, I think the number was actually 49 days in jail, much of it in isolation because of COVID. That's a longer jail sentence than many violent criminals actually serve. And the trial has been stretched into a monstrosity. I think we're about 45 days into it now, 45 days of hearings over the course of nearly a year. The process is the punishment. The number of millions of dollars that the government has spent prosecuting her is absurd. The lead lawyer for the defense, Lawrence Greenspan, estimated to me that the government has spent, both on the policing side and the legal side, north of $5 million to go after her for the same reason that the Coots truckers were put through the ringer, Arthur Pavlovsky, the pastor, put through the ringer, a punishment for daring to challenge the establishment. I'm proud of Rebel News' involvement, not only in covering the trucker convoy in the first place, but in crowdfunding the legal defense for so many people who faced absurd charges. As you know, our viewers have been donating to fight the fines. That's what we called the project at first. Over 3,000 people coast to coast, including some very famous cases. We're crowdfunding Tamara Lich's legal defense, crowdfunded Arthur Pavlovsky's legal defense. That's the pastor who got in trouble for keeping his church open in Calgary and then was prosecuted for giving a sermon to the Coots trucker blockade, where Rebel News and the Democracy Fund have crowdfunded the legal defense for 55 people, including the so-called Coots 3. All of these crowd funds, which has been a pleasure to work for, all of those funds go to the arm's length charity called the Democracy Fund. You can learn more about the Democracy Fund at thedemocracyfund.ca, including seeing the financial statements, the donations down to the penny. And you can see on that Canada Revenue Agency charities listing website the fundraising fees that Rebel News charges. Zero. If you compare the Democracy Fund's fundraising fees, zero, with any other charity, you'll see what a miracle it is. Even massive charities like the Red Cross or the Cancer Society take between 5 and 25% of a cut for fundraisers. The work we've done to raise millions of dollars for truckers has been done completely pro bono by Rebel News reporters, not 1 cent. And that's my message today. Rebel News has been covering the trial of Tamara Lich for, about a year now. We've covered all the other trucker trials around the country that we could, and we've never taken a cent from the crowdfunding. All of it has been handed to the lawyers. Again, you can see the financial reporting yourself on the Canada Revenue Agency website for the Democracy Fund. So what I'd like to ask of you on this last day of our coverage here is if you can help us cover the costs of the journalism we've been doing. I've covered, about 5 days of this trial, but the rest of the time, which is about 40 other days, we've either had Robert Kraychik or David Menzies or Sheila Gunn Reid or any number of other Rebel News journalists cover the trial. And I think that we've covered the trial in a way more sympathetic than the regime media. And we've helped inform people across the country, not just with our daily reports, but with live tweeting throughout the day. So if you value the journalism we've done, let me make a pitch for you to help us with that part. All of the crowdfunding we've ever done for Tamara Lich, Arthur Pavlovsky, the Coots 3, and countless other people has gone straight to the lawyers. So the thousands of dollars we've spent having staff reporters cover these has come from Rebel News. If you can help us crowdfund that journalism, if over the course of the last year you think our journalism was valuable, please consider chipping in $10 or $50 or $100 to truckertrials.com, truckertrials.com. Unlike the other crowdfunding we've done, this will actually cover the cost of our journalism. I've been proud to do both, to do the journalism, to do the crowdfunding for Tamara's lawyers, and even to publish Tamara Lich's best-selling book, Hold the Line. All right, thanks for letting me make a pitch to support our journalism. I will be back in the court all day on this final day, live tweeting, and I'll have a video report for you after that's done. Go to truckertrials.com to help out. Thanks.